give talks. I said no. I was a nursing sister, I don't do that. And I went to a school near Ormskirk who children now have been inaugurated, deaf children, into normal schools. And 3 of them wanted somebody to go with the dog and talk about it. It's only one class, they said. So I said, oh, okay. Well, it was the whole assembly. And that's how it all started. How many years have I been giving talks, Nikki? Ages. About 11 years now. So thank you for listening. You can ask me any questions afterwards, as long as you think before you ask. I'll tell you 2 times. One time a lady in Sainsbury's stood behind me, because when they're at the till in the shop, they don't move. They don't even wag their tail. They just stand there. She put her hand on my shoulder. She said, "That dog's stuffed." What is it like if you have a man in bed with you? So I said, well, chance to be a fine thing.
On behalf of the Forum Host Committee, I wrote to all district governors before Christmas and said, could they find 10 minutes in their busy schedules to allow us to make a presentation? And DG Liz replied, I'll be so far ahead you can have an hour.
No.
And obviously I said, no, 30 minutes will be quite sufficient.
No, please. Oh, your hand.
Fellow Lions, please take your seats. Can I please bring this second session of our district convention to order?
This art contest for young children encourages them from across the globe to express their vision of peace and need. Thank you for entering the competition. And thank you for finding the time to be with us today so that we can all recognise your talent.
It's my pleasure to introduce a man we've known for a long time at Birchwood Lions and in the Warrington area. His name's Dave Thompson. In his spare time, when he has any, he enjoys spending time with his family and friends and has also taken up scuba diving. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I heard that either, scuba diving. And our Lions clubs, Warrington and Birchwood and the local clubs, were there last year when he swam a mile underwater for a fundraising event called Going the Extra Mile in aid of the Warrington Disability Partnership. A remarkable man, fellow Lions, Sugarman. I'll introduce Dave Thompson, MBE.
Okay, well, first of all, Liz, thank you very much for the invite today. It's an honour to be here with Lions. You've been part of my life and my family's life for the last 25 years. And it's been a bit of a journey I think we've been on together. And Peter, sort of sat in the far corner over there, has sort of been our main contact with the Lions into the Birchwood area for many, many years. My journey started, as we've just heard, in 1989. In 1989, life in the Thompson household was extremely good. We had a business in Warrington Town Centre that was doing very well. I played American football for one of the best teams in the country. I played for Great Britain as American football. And our lives changed. I don't say my life because it was our life. Our lives changed. Literally, mid-afternoon, on the, well, it was mid-evening of the 2nd of July 1989. I'm 6'7" stood up, big guy, and in a tackle that went completely wrong, I broke my neck. And life changed indefinitely. So, how does it feel? Well, to me, it felt frustrated. The loss of dignity. Not being able to use my legs and one arm is bad enough, but actually continence issues, bowels, bladder, the things that we take for granted, fastening your shoelaces, fastening a tie, simple things, they're the things for me that are that loss of dignity. After 9 months in and out of hospital, I went to a day centre for young disabled people. At the age of 31, I was introduced to wicker work, flower arranging and basket weaving. All the things that I aspired to do. And even when I started to sort of say to things like, well, can we have actually permission to make our own cups of tea? The staff in the centre said, no, you're not allowed. We'll have to do a risk assessment on it. Everything in life was a risk assessment. I went to the loo myself one day, I got onto the toilet myself, and actually fell on the floor when I got back off the loo. And then I realised what risk assessments were really about. And for me, the word disability before that would have wreaked havoc in people's lives. It would have been something that, for me, it would have been devastation, it would have been life-changing. And I've got to say, for probably the first few years, it was. Because when we talk about the word disability, we think about the physical limitations of an individual. And when I lecture in universities, and especially when you go into schools, when you talk about to children about what does the word disability mean, they think about all the things that people can't do. They don't think about the things that people can do. My job today in the NHS, I work in a mental health trust. And the reason why I feel so at home in a mental health trust is because I feel that the fight that they've got, that people with mental health problems have got, is greater than any disability that I know. Dependency on other people. In this room today, if I asked you all today, how many people actually had some help today to get here, probably most of us would say, all of us. Because what a difference is for me for disability is that it means having a wheelchair. It means having a car that's adapted with £40,000 for hand controls in it. My wife says I drive it very dangerously. I'm not really quite sure what she means. Probably the two proton. But for me, the dependency, it's just a way of looking at things. When you step back from disability, and I got over the hurdle of the devastation, I started to realise that actually it just means asking for help a little bit more and accepting help a little bit more, because sometimes it's not necessarily asking for it, but it's being offered it and accepting it. Worthless. Absolutely angry. Angry about life in general. Unemployable. Never ever thought I'd ever work again. When somebody offered me a job in the NHS, I thought this is a joke. I had to pinch myself, and even then I couldn't feel it, so it didn't bother me. We put together a database of accessible hairdressers, accessible pubs, accessible clubs, accessible restaurants, accessible GPs. And people thought it was fantastic. In fact, the Lions Clubs actually bought us our first telephone, because the day centre staff were absolutely sick to death of taking phone calls on their office number, coming through to the day centre and saying, Dave, there's a phone call for you again. Somebody wants some information about disability. But the Lions Clubs actually got us going. So really, our journey started with the Lions Clubs. In fact, just before that, Westbrook Lions actually bought me an electric wheelchair. Kids called it Dad's Flying Banana. It was bright yellow. It was fantastic. So Lions Clubs have really been part of my life and our lives as a family for many, many years. But this is what Walter mentioned. This is what I think has bonded Lions Clubs International and Dave Thompson and the team we've got at the partnership. Disability Awareness Day. It was a one-off event. I wanted to do something. Came up with the idea one morning to actually do something where we could celebrate what disabled people could do and what support was available. And the year we did it, I thought, this is it. This will be just a one-off. And within days of the event, people saying, Dave, what are you doing for next year? And already this year, we've actually got promises of running Disability Awareness Days in India and Cameroon again. But also we've had interest from Australia, and we've also in the past had interest from Japan. So just from one simple event, we can bond lots of people together. On a serious note, disability is not the end of the world. Disability is devastating. Disability is devastating to families. But together, we can achieve anything we want. Thank you.
I have real pleasure in presenting this young lady. I was lucky enough to go into her school and attend the prize giving, and she doesn't just have one arrow to her bow, she does a lot of things, and she has a lovely smile as well, even with me around. So can I introduce Bethan Reynolds?
I have two organisations that I would be delighted for the money to go to, and one of them is Manor House, which is a care home for those who have physical and learning disabilities of any age. My second organisation is once a year, for 1 week, I travel to Lourdes with the Liverpool Archdiocese. We travel by coach, which is 26 hours, so you definitely get to know a lot of friends on the coach. So our duties include simple things, but can be so rewarding to the sick and elderly. Things like taking them to the shops, taking them to cafes, pushing them in wheelchairs to masses, and ultimately talking to them. It's so lovely to just have a conversation with them and then feeling the emotions, just that smile that you give to them. So instead of fundraising for our coaches, the things that we could do in Lourdes, last year we decided to fundraise for a pilgrim to go. We did this by car washes and parties, but obviously £900 a lot, so I'm delighted that £250 will be going towards taking a pilgrim this year to Lourdes. So, and I'd also like to thank the Crosby Lions for getting me here, because it's just been an amazing experience, and I've met so many wonderful people through Lions, and it's an experience I'll never forget. So thank you.
Governor Barry Collins has been duly elected as District Governor of District 105 BN. Duly elected as our first president.
Can I just try and clear up one item of a Bury? Think about it. B-U-R-Y. Is it Bury, Bury, Bury? Sure, it's Bury. Otherwise, every crown court in this country, 12 just people sitting on a jerry.
Lion Erica and I will work hard, and with your help, we'll continue to take our great district forward. Erica said to say, for those who voted for me, may I say a big thank you, and for those who didn't, better luck next year. Thank you.
So, being again here in the UK, I told also my wife, she'll be tonight with us. I told her that she's going to meet very, very nice people with quite a little bit sarcastic humor sometimes, but she is used to it, as I do the same type of humor. I do have it back home, and I'm glad, once again, I'm glad to be here. As from International Lions, I hope that you have achieved as many dreams as possible this year. As you know, our international president's motto, or slogan, what you want to call it, is follow your dream. And I hope that at least one dream for each of us has come true during this Leonistic year, or is going to come true, as the year still has a few months to go. A few years ago, I heard the president speaking the following sentence: I will not ask you why you became a lion, but I will ask you if today you would become a lion. So make it through yourself, and not just tell people, show them what lions means, and when they come to you, greet them with your open arms. So if there are questions from the floor, please do not hesitate to ask me. I'll be gladly to answer, even if frankly, the answer would be an I don't know.
Roy and I would just like to present the committee with this appreciation certificate for all the hard work that you've done over the last 2 years, with your typical sense of humour. Finally, there is really one special person that I would really like to thank for his wonderful support.
It's not you, guys. It's not you.
Yeah.